Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating and important comparisons in modern military technology. On one side, we have Israel's Arrow-3, a highly advanced missile defense system designed to intercept and destroy ballistic threats in space. On the other side, we have China's DF-41, a powerful intercontinental ballistic missile that represents one of the most formidable offensive weapons in the world. This is a direct look at defense versus offense, technology versus firepower, and strategy versus deterrence. When we talk about Israel's Arrow-3, it is essential to understand the background. Israel is a small country in terms of geography and population, but it faces some of the most serious security challenges in the world. Because of this, Israel has invested heavily in missile defense technology for decades. The Arrow program began in the late 1980s as a joint project with the United States. The Arrow-3 is the latest and most capable version of this system, officially becoming operational in 2017. Its role is to provide Israel with a shield against long-range ballistic missiles that may be launched from hostile countries. In contrast, the DF-41 belongs to a completely different category. It is not a defensive tool. It is an offensive weapon that forms part of China's strategic nuclear forces. First revealed publicly in 2015, the DF-41 is considered one of the most powerful intercontinental ballistic missiles in existence. With an estimated range of up to 15,000 kilometers, it can reach virtually any target on Earth. It is road, mobile, solid-fueled, and capable of carrying multiple independently targetable reentry vehicles, often called MIRV. This means it can deliver several nuclear warheads to different targets with a single missile launch. The first major point of comparison is purpose. The Arrow-3 is designed to stop incoming missiles in mid-course while they are still outside the Earth's atmosphere. It acts as a shield, and its success is measured in its ability to prevent destruction. The DF-41 is designed to penetrate any defense system and deliver overwhelming force. Its success is measured in how credible its threat remains against adversaries, especially those with advanced defenses. In simple terms, one is the sword and the other is the shield. Looking deeper into technology, the Arrow-3 uses a hit-to-kill approach. This means it does not carry an explosive warhead of its own. Instead, it destroys an incoming missile through sheer impact at extremely high speed. This method requires incredible precision and advanced guidance systems. The interceptor is launched vertically and then adjusts its trajectory using thrust vectoring. Once outside the atmosphere, it locks onto its target and collides with it at closing speeds of several kilometers per second. The system is supported by powerful radar, particularly Israel's Green Pine radar, which can detect and track ballistic missiles at long ranges. The DF-41, on the other hand, is all about survivability and delivery. It is a three-stage solid-fueled missile. Solid fuel allows it to be launched quickly, unlike older liquid-fueled designs that require lengthy preparation. Its road, mobile launchers mean it can be moved across vast areas of China, making it very difficult for adversaries to locate and destroy preemptively. The missile itself is believed to be able to carry between 6 and 10 MIRVs, each with a nuclear yield measured in hundreds of kilotons, possibly even megatons. With decoys and penetration aids, it is designed to confuse and overwhelm missile defense systems like Arrow-3 or the American ground-based mid-course defense system. Another critical comparison lies in range. Arrow-3's interceptor has an operational range of several thousand kilometers, but its role is limited to intercepting incoming missiles targeted at Israel or possibly regional allies. It is not designed to shoot down missiles across the globe. The DF-41's 15,000 kilometer range means it can hit targets anywhere, including the continental United States, Europe, or anywhere in Asia. This makes it a strategic deterrent weapon of global significance, not just a regional tool. Cost and economics also matter when discussing such systems. Israel's Arrow-3 system is extremely expensive to develop and deploy, but it is largely funded in partnership with the United States. Each interceptor missile can cost millions of dollars. However, for Israel, which faces constant missile threats, the price is justified because even one intercepted missile could save thousands of lives. The DF-41, on the other hand, reflects China's willingness to invest in nuclear deterrence at scale. While each missile is also costly, China's economic and industrial capacity allows it to deploy them in numbers large enough to ensure credibility. For Beijing, the DF-41 is not about firing in anger but about deterring adversaries, primarily the United States, from ever contemplating a nuclear strike. When comparing effectiveness, we have to remember they operate on completely different levels. The Arrow-3 has already demonstrated success in real-world scenarios. Israel has reportedly used it in combat, intercepting missiles launched from Yemen during regional conflicts. This proves that it is not just a theoretical system, but a combat, proven defense shield. The DF-41 has not been used in combat, and hopefully never will, because its role is strictly as a strategic deterrent. Its effectiveness lies in its ability to guarantee retaliation, which is the cornerstone of nuclear deterrence theory. Another point to examine is alliance and support. Israel's Arrow-3 is closely linked with American defense technology and funding. The United States has an interest in supporting Israel's defense both for strategic and political reasons. The collaboration means Israel benefits from cutting-edge radar, satellite support, and funding streams that enhance the system's capability. China's DF-41 is a product of complete indigenous development. China has pursued missile development independently, driven by its desire to maintain strategic parity with the United States and Russia. The DF-41 symbolizes China's entry into the top tier of nuclear powers. Mobility versus fixed defense is also an interesting dimension. Arrow-3 batteries are fixed in defensive positions across Israel, connected to radar systems and command centers. They are stationary by necessity because they need constant radar and data links to function. The DF-41 is mobile, carried on a 12-wheeled transporter erector launcher. This mobility makes it unpredictable and hard to neutralize. In a conflict scenario, the DF-41 could be launched from multiple hidden locations, while Arrow-3 must wait at known defensive sites for the incoming threat. When discussing reliability, both systems face challenges. Arrow-3 must deal with the physics of intercepting an object traveling many times the speed of sound in space. Even a tiny error in trajectory can cause a miss. Despite this, its testing record has been strong, and operational use confirms its capability. The DF-41 must maintain reliability across thousands of kilometers, multiple warheads, and re-entry vehicles surviving extreme heat and pressure. China has tested the DF-41 multiple times with successful results, suggesting a high level of reliability. From a strategic point of view, Arrow-3 represents the defense doctrine of Israel, which emphasizes survival through technology. Surrounded by adversaries and limited in land depth, Israel cannot afford to absorb a massive missile strike. Its defense layers include Iron Dome for short-range rockets, David's Sling for medium-range threats, Arrow-2 for lower-altitude ballistic missiles, and Arrow-3 for exo-atmospheric interceptions. The DF-41 represents China's doctrine of minimum but credible deterrence. China has far fewer nuclear weapons than the United States or Russia, but with DF-41, it ensures that its second strike capability cannot be neutralized. Politically, the Arrow-3 has strengthened Israel's defense ties with the United States and even Europe. In fact, Germany recently signed a deal to purchase the Arrow-3 system, making it the first export customer. This shows international confidence in its capability and expands Israel's influence in global defense markets. For China, the DF-41 is not for export. It is strictly for domestic use as part of its nuclear arsenal. Its political message is directed toward adversaries, signaling that China cannot be intimidated or coerced. In terms of scale, Israel's Arrow-3 deployment is relatively small, tailored to its national defense needs. China's DF-41, by contrast, could be deployed in dozens, perhaps hundreds of units, forming the backbone of its nuclear force. The scale difference reflects the different needs. Israel defends a small territory, China projects global power. Another aspect to consider is countermeasures. The DF-41 is designed to defeat systems like Arrow-3. With MIRVs, decoys, and penetration aids, it seeks to saturate and confuse missile defense. Arrow-3, while highly advanced, could struggle if faced with multiple warheads or decoys from a single DF-41 launch. However, Arrow-3 was never meant to stop something like the DF-41. It was designed to counter regional threats, such as Iranian Shahab or Sejil missiles. Comparing them directly in a one-on-one scenario is somewhat misleading because they exist in different strategic contexts. Still, the symbolic comparison of shield versus sword remains fascinating. Arrow-3 represents humanity's attempt to defend against the most dangerous weapons, while the DF-41 represents humanity's ability to create even more unstoppable offensive systems. It raises the eternal question in military history: can defense ever truly match offense? Throughout history, offense has often held the advantage. Missile defense systems are improving, but offensive missiles like DF-41 continue to advance as well. If we step back and look at the bigger picture, both systems highlight the technological race of our time. Israel, with its Arrow-3, shows how even small states can develop world-class defense systems when survival is at stake. China, with its DF-41, demonstrates its rise as a global superpower capable of challenging the military dominance of the United States. Both systems reflect not only engineering brilliance, but also geopolitical realities. In conclusion, the Arrow-3 and DF-41 serve entirely different purposes. The Arrow-3 is about protecting lives, intercepting threats, and ensuring that hostile actors cannot destroy Israel with long-range missiles. The DF-41 is about deterring adversaries by threatening overwhelming retaliation and ensuring that China's nuclear forces remain untouchable. One system seeks to prevent war by stopping missiles, while the other seeks to prevent war by threatening devastation. The comparison between them is less about which is better, and more about how each reflects the strategic priorities of their nations. Israel invests in defense because it must survive constant threats in its neighborhood. China invests in offense because it must deter global rivals and maintain its position as a rising superpower. Together, they show us both sides of the coin in modern military technology, the shield and the sword, each advancing with incredible speed. And that wraps up our deep comparison of Israel's Arrow-3 missile defense system and China's DF-41 intercontinental ballistic missile. Thank you for staying with us through this detailed analysis. Make sure to let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, stay tuned for more fact-based breakdowns of the world's most advanced defense and military technologies.